All right, John, game one. The Calgary Flames, by virtue of their second-place finish and the Kings' third-place finish, own home ice advantage in this best-of-7 series. Games 1 and 2 here, 3 and 4 in L.A., a fifth if necessary back here. 6 would be in L.A., and a 7th game would be played here. John Davidson and I were talking about Kelly Hrudey, and he will clearly, I think, be the key to the Kings' fortunes over the next, well, what they hope to be 2 months.
Kelly Hrudey is an acrobatic-style goaltender. At the other end of the ice, the more experienced Mike Vernon, who has 70 games experience of NHL hockey in the playoffs, is more of a classic stand-up goaltender, Al. It'll be very interesting to see exactly what Los Angeles does to try to beat Mike Vernon. Will they try the lateral-type passes across to get him to move out and open up quite a bit? This will be a very interesting battle.
Barry Melrose, 36 years old, coached the Adirondack Red Wings to the American Hockey League Championship last year. And here we go. The Kings start with the Gretzky line. And Calgary wants to match up with a line centered by Joel Otto, number 29, who will be Gretzky's shadow throughout the playoffs. Kings in black. This is Thomas Sandstrom sending one in to Gretzky, who loves to set up behind the net. Sidor scores! So the game is 16 seconds old, and Darryl Sidor, a rookie, has scored to put Los Angeles on top 1-0. A dream beginning for the Kings.
Absolutely. Wayne Gretzky's always behind the goal net. That's exactly what he likes to do. Set up his offense. He takes the pass right out to Sidor, the defenseman, and one shot on goal, 1-0 Los Angeles. The Flames players have got to stop Gretzky from getting the puck behind the net. If he does, the Kings will be in great shape as far as setting up scoring chances. He needs the puck behind the goal.
This is Paul Ranheim carrying it in over the blue line. Ranheim circling behind the net, and then he falls down, checked by Hrudey. It comes back into the corner. This is Frank Musial sending it in around the boards. Ashton can't control it. Robitaille swipes at it, and Robitaille gets it across the blue line. And as Fleury puts it back in, offside is called. So we played 45 seconds. Another look at the goal. L.A. on top, 1-0.
Al, the key for L.A. when Gretzky's on the ice, get him behind the net. Look at Stanson. What does he do with the puck? Immediately behind the goal. Who's there? Wayne Gretzky. Now he can see everybody in front of him. Goes to one side to dish the puck off to the defenseman. He's not picked up. And just like that, 1-0 with Sidor scoring. The Kings will put Gretzky behind the goal. They'll put the puck there blind, knowing he's there, and Calgary's got to stop that.
Sidor scored 6 goals during the regular season. Now the Kings with a line featuring a lot of speed. Granato, Millen, and Donnelly, and the puck came outside the blue line, and we have it offside.
You're looking at Alex Zhitnik, one of the players as a young defenseman with Los Angeles that will try to add a lot of offense to beat Calgary's squad. Calgary's a defensive team. Los Angeles is an offensive club, and with young defensemen like Zhitnik and Sidor, as we've already seen, they'll try to add as much offense as possible.
Kings on top on Sidor's goal with assist to Gretzky and Robitaille coming at 16 seconds. This is Yari Curry. And offside against the Kings, so already 3 offsides in the game, 1 minute and 11 seconds into it. Let's take a look at the scratches for today's game. For the Kings, Rob Blake injured his back 2 weeks ago against Minnesota. He is a very big key for them. Won't play today. Probably won't play Wednesday. They hope to have him back over the weekend in L.A. Rob Stauber, who had a chance to be the #1 goaltender as of Thursday night, is now #3. We talked about that during the pregame show, and you saw the others. Now for Calgary, here are their scratches. Headlined by the Russian Sergei Makarov, who has somehow worked his way into Dave King's doghouse, and a rest.
Say the Chateau Bow Wow. The doghouse. He just has not played well for Dave King. He did not have the work habits that Dave King wants. Dave King wants the commitment for his Flames, offensively and defensively. Makarov did not give that to him. You're looking at Yari Curry, one of the great two-way hockey players ever to play the game.
This is Suter sending it by Johansson, and then Waters couldn't keep it in at the point. Zhitnik over to Curry, and it comes back into the Los Angeles zone. Zhitnik, who played on the gold medal winning team in the Olympics last year, the unified team, the former Soviet team, #2. for Los Angeles. Calgary coming back the other way. Theron Fleury can't control. Fleury led the team in scoring this year with 100 points. Millen sends it up past Jari Kurri and all the way down the ice, and we'll have an icing call here with 18:08 to go in the first period.
Early in this game, you can see that Dave King's team looks to be the more uptight of the two clubs. Dave King this morning went for a jog like he normally does before a game. At 1 o'clock beginning here in Calgary, local time. You don't see many games in the afternoon in the NHL. However, he's a coach that has had a lot of interest and a lot of experience coaching international hockey, and he was saying 1 o'clock starts easy. Heck, when we played Olympic games, sometimes they had 10:30 in the morning beginnings. They shouldn't bother us at all. But his team early looked uptight.
Kings on top, 1-0. 2 minutes into game one of this best-of-7 series. This is Dahlquist back to get it for the Flames. But the Kings forechecking, keep it in. Granato, though, can't control the puck. And Gary Roberts, number 10, can't get it out back into the Calgary zone.
Calgary can't make the first pass. They're having trouble completing passes, and the Kings are very aggressive, going right at the Flame players.
Now Yoni controls from in front of the net. Gets it up to Ronnie Stern. Stern over the left side. And Granato was there to pick it up at center ice. Off Chukchuk's stick. And the Flames get it back as Neuendijk sends it in. Hrudey leaving it for Mark Hardy. Hardy picked up from the Rangers, though he had played with the Kings for several years in the early 80s. Now this is Al McInnes, number 2 for Calgary, losing the puck to Sandstrom. He leaves it for Gretzky, and Wayne sends it into the corner. Vernon leaving it for Musil. Gretzky is there, though. Gretzky sends it out in front, but it's intercepted by Strudlin, who starts back the other way. Ranheim picked up by Sador, and the Kings clear the zone. It's a Sador. He loses it to Ranheim, but Hrudey is there to send it into the corner. And the puck out of play. We have a whistle and a face-off with 16:46 to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings. Remarkably consistent in his 7 years with the Kings, but he even stepped it up a notch this year. 63 goals, most ever by a left winger. 125 points, most ever by a left winger. Career year for Robitaille.
And during the regular season, he scored 10 goals in 7 games against the Calgary Flames. Another remarkable number.
4 minutes into the game, the Kings in black on top 1-0. The shot is wide and sent up along the near boards to Reichel. Reichel can't clear the zone. Conacher is there to scrap with it. This is the Kings scrapping line with Reichel and Conacher. Kelly Hrudey out in front of the net. And Los Angeles able to send it back out to center ice where Yoni collects it for the Flames.
Now it's the scrappy line for both teams. You've got Taylor, too, with the LA Kings, and you've got Berube Strudlin as bigger, tougher, scrappy wingers for Calgary. We'll watch for them to battle in this series.
Reichel flipping it in, and the Kings with a line change, and there's also an icing call here. So he face off with 15:53 remaining in the first period. They changed the scoring on the only goal of the game. Initially, they gave Robitaille an assist on Sador's goal. Instead, it goes to Sandstrom. So Sandstrom and Gretzky get the assist on the goal by Sador on the first shot of the game. The Pittsburgh Penguins, most people feel they will win it again and make it 3 straight, leading 5-1 over New Jersey, and Chicago in a good battle, leading 3-2 over the St. Louis Blues. Buffalo and Boston, they'll start later. The Islanders and Washington in the Patrick Division semifinals, a later start. And Montreal and Quebec, with Quebec owning the home ice advantage in the Adams Division semis tonight.
Pittsburgh looks like they'll win. Scotty Bowman has 964 career wins. That includes playoffs, and that's his count. He wants 1,000. And it looks like his team is on the march.
Here is Millen. Millen sending it over for Curry, intercepted by the Flames. Back comes Theron Fleury, who had 34 goals this season. Reichel sets up in front of the net. Reichel led the team in goals with 40. And the Kings come back the other way with Curry leaving it for Zhitnik, but offside.
The jitters are there. A lot of offsides, a lot of icing, little flow so far. You see Barry Melrose, the head coach of Los Angeles, he keeps a book with them. And the book is entitled The Leadership Secrets of Attila the Hun. As you can imagine, what he says the book relates business and sports to running an army. And he says running a hockey team is like running an army. And I don't know if Ralph the dog agrees or not, but Barry Melrose will go back and look at some quotations in the book to try and get his theory straightened out.
And yet there's a paradox, because you would think of the two coaches, King would be the more disciplined, Dave King, the more military-like, as it were.
Both these coaches coaching their first ever NHL playoff game.
Dahl sends it into the corner.
And Corey Millen is going to get a penalty, as is Theo Fleury. Millen was hurt right at hit at the Calgary blue line, knocked down. He got up, skated back, and took a penalty, and then he was knocked down, and retaliation penalties go to both Dahl and Millen. There's Millen knocking down Dahl. That was the initial penalty, and there's Fleury knocking down Millen. So penalties handed out to both teams. And right away, when this happens, you're going to see 4-on-4 action. Right away, Wayne Gretzky steps on the ice. And Gretzky told us prior to the game that maybe, and no one's been talking about it, but maybe with the penalty minutes that should be happening in this series, 4-on-4 action could be a major key to winning the series. More out tonight, a better chance for him to perform his magic.
As it was when he played in Edmonton, and they destroyed the opposition in 4-on-4 situations.
They destroyed it to the point where they took it out of the league and didn't allow it for a number of seasons. That was way back in 1985-86. It has been put back as part of hockey this season for the first time since '86.
Cap Raider, the Kings assistant coach, discussing things with Gretzky. Dan Mariuelli sending both Millen and Dahl off for high stick.
I think Dahl wasn't the player. Theo Fleury has now been told. See, Dahl got knocked down, and that was the penalty, right?
Fleury,
penalty to Millen, and then Fleury came over and knocked Millen down. So Fleury now has gone to the penalty box, and everybody's gotten it straightened out on the ice. 4-on-4 action. Calgary is in a defensive posture with Joel Otto, the big centerman opposite the Kings' Wayne Gretzky. The Kings in this position are thinking offense, period.
They have Gretzky with Curry and McSorley, and McSorley can play both ways, up front or on the back line, and Zhitnik with Ranheim and Otto and Yoni and Suter, the quartet of Calgary Flames. This is Zhitnik sending it up for Gretzky. Gretzky for McSorley. Taken away now by Suter in front of the Calgary net. 14.5 minutes to go in the first period. Los Angeles on top, 1-0. Here comes Joel Otto. Otto trying to get it in front. It was deflected by McSorley, swept away by Zhitnik, and left for Gretzky. Gretzky coming in with Zhitnik. Over to Zhitnik, but he couldn't get wood on the shot. Zhitnik sends it behind him to Gretzky. Gretzky circling. Sends one in. Out in front, Robitaille couldn't get the rebound. Covered up by Vernon.
A second shot on goal in this game, both by the Kings. The first one that hasn't been a goal. Wayne Gretzky loves 4-on-4, and we just saw a classic example of it. He set the puck up with a beautiful pass to Alex Zhitnik, but the puck just barely skipped over the blade of Zhitnik's stick. You'll see the pass across. Oh, look at the turner here. Yanni trying to check Gretzky. Gretzky here gets the shot on goal. Robitaille standing right there. Can't get the deflection. Wayne Gretzky with another great shift.
The game is 5 minutes and 51 seconds old. The Kings have two shots. One the goal by Sedora, the other the last save by Vernon. Calgary does not have a shot on goal. This is Sedora. It's deflected into the corner. Robitaille chases it down. Lucille checks Robitaille. Roberts picks up the puck and leaves it for McGinnis, who has one of the hardest shots in the game. He sends it out in front. Deflection is wide. McGinnis chases it down in the corner. Out in front it comes to Sedor, who takes it away for L.A. Circling back, Hrudey checks Nieuwendyk, and that enables Sedor to bring it all the way in over the blue line and backhand one wide. And Sedor chases it down at the point, taken away though by Calgary. Nieuwendyk sends it back out to center ice. And both teams change on the fly as Musil gathers it in for Calgary. To Dahl. Nice pass up ahead to Reichel. His shot is wide. Ashton chases it down. Ashton came over from the Flyers in mid-year. Out in front to Reichel. And his shot is wide to the right. And then cleared out by Jari Kurri. Now Reichel, at 40 goals this season, sends it in around the board. 7 minutes into the game. Kings on top 1-0. Here comes Millen. He stops. He shoots. It's off the shoulder of Vernon and then high off the glass. Comes out to the point. The Kings are able to keep it in. Out in front. The skittering puck swept aside by Vernon. Sandstrom slaps at it. Gets control of it. Sandstrom checks behind the net. Still has control of it. Sends it out in front. But no King is there. Instead, it's Reichel coming back the other way for Calgary. And he sends it into the corner. And the Flames and Kings both change on the fly.
That was the best shift of the game. You can see now the players are settling in. There's been some hits, some good skating. The passing a little bit better now.
12:20 to go. Opening period. Game 1. Best of 7. Kings on top 1-0. If you joined us late, Darryl Sador scoring for LA 16 seconds into the game. Calgary still looking for its first shot on goal. Hrudey does not have a save yet. Out in front, it's taken away by Sandstrom. Here comes Sandstrom with Gretzky. 2-on-1. Gretzky in over the right side. Leaves it for the trailer overtime. Back to Gretzky. Hits the side of the net. Sandstrom keeps it in for LA. Tries to send it in to Gretzky behind the net. Wayne taken out of the play by Hrudey, but Robitaille is there. Up the middle it comes. Hrudey with a slap shot. Deflected to the left. Picked up by Gretzky. He sends it to Sandstrom. It's blocked in front. Sandstrom gets it back. Out in front to Robitaille. Robitaille wheels. His shot wide to the left. And Hrudey finally clears the zone. He sends it all the way down. If Waters gets there first, it'll be an icing, and it is. With 11:24 to go, Waters gets into it for the moment. Waters is only playing because Blake is hurt. He was the guy on the bubble. And they break it up quickly, and the Kings on top 1-0.
He's a smiling guy today, 50% owner of a horse that won $285,000 last night. The Hong Kong Cup. A horse by the name of Glenn Cates. And it looks like Gretzky's flying out there right now. He is unstoppable so far in the first period.
Co-owned by Bruce McNall, the two involved in a partnership, and they own a lot of thoroughbreds. Kings on top 1-0 with 11:15 to go in the first period. As Zhitnik keeps him in at the point. In behind the net to Conacher. Conacher ridden out of the play by Skrudland, but still scrapping for it. Tries to get it up to Taylor, but Ashton gets his stick on it and sends it all the way down the ice. The Flames still do not have a shot on goal. If you're relatively new to hockey, they've taken some shots at the Kings net, but none of them have been on goal. In other words, it has to go in, even though they've taken some shots at Hrudey. So Hrudey does not have a save yet.
That's another example, Al, as to why the shots aren't getting there. Calgary's an uptight hockey club here in the first period. Shots are going wide, passes aren't connecting.
Here's Neuendijk centering it, and they couldn't get their stick on the puck. Ronnie Stern out in front. Stern standing on the shot. It comes all the way back to Dahl, who sends it up along the left side to Suter, but he's taken out of the play by Jimmy Carson.
Diligent checking here by Los Angeles.
Including Sador behind the net. And here's a shot. Hrudey makes his first save. Ronnie Stern getting it away. So it takes the Flames almost past the first period to put a shot on goal. Kings still on top 1-0. 10 minutes to play in the opening period. Here comes Theron Fleury in over the blue line. And Fleury is ridden out of the play by Shuchuk to Jimmy Carson. Carson knocked down at the blue line and has the puck taken away by the Flames as Ronnie Stern sends it off the board. But it comes to Sador at center ice, and he sends it in wide of Vernon. Now Suter setting it up to Theron Fleury. Here comes Fleury with Ashton and Reichel in around the boards. This is Ashton behind the net. He tried to get it in front, hit the side of the goal frame. Back it comes to Donnelly. Mike Donnelly, the speedy one, to Millen. Millen sends it in front, and Curry's shot is saved by Vernon.
Great shift by Millen. Millen broke up the play in front of his own goal. Got away from the check, headed all the way up ice, and set up the scoring chance.
Now this is Jari Kurri. Kurri ridden out of the play by Ranheim. Ranheim does a great job. He's one of the unsung Calgary heroes this season, defensively. This is Reichel. His long shot saved by Hrudey. His second of the game. Hrudey is back there for LA. Sends it all the way up to center ice where McGinnis gains control for Calgary. And he sends it back into the corner. Where it's chased down by Hrudey. We have an icing and a face-off upcoming in the Calgary end. 8:41 to go in the period. 1-0 Los Angeles.
Hockey Club right now, and they have not allowed Calgary a quality scoring chance yet.
8:30 to go, first period. LA on top, 1-0. Getting the goal 16 seconds into the game. A goal by Darryl Sador. Gretzky sending it over to Robitaille, but McGinnis with some good forechecking, keeping it in. Over to Musil. Musil's slap shot is gloved by Hrudey with 8:14 to go in the period. Let's check in with John Saunders in New York.
Pittsburgh having their way with New Jersey. Shell